Alright guys, we're back. Part 3 of our Gronk droid. I don't know what this would be. It's not really a tutorial. It's just you watching me work. And so yeah, repaired what was broken. It's a good reminder to save often. You never know when whatever 3D software you're using is going to have a fit. And so I'm going to step on it, like I said, a little bit just to get through this and then get on to the UV part, which I think is probably the part that most of you are waiting for. Cross your fingers that we're not going to have too many more weird Maya buggies. That's not acceptable. Sorry. Sometimes I talk to myself when I work. Or talk to Maya. I wanted to add a little bevel in that corner, but there's just not enough, I don't know what you call it. Maya's not going to let me, for whatever reason. Maya's reasons. So I'm going to try to fence this in a little bit and see if that makes any difference. Yeah. I guess it's probably like a precision error, or not error, but just a, a lack of precision in the math that underpins all this stuff. I'm sure they have to, make sacrifices where necessary to make this whole thing work. Do I want to put a bevel in here? No. That could use a bevel, but I don't want to deal with that on an UV. Do I? I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Maybe. I do maybe. I do need to address this N-gon, though. Don't want to leave any N-gons around. N-gon meaning faces with more than 4 vertices. It's just asking for wonkiness when it tessellates. Try to see. Okay, just a few more little details. I'm going to get bogged down in this stuff way too much. No, there are a couple of these guys back here. Let's see. hard to see on my art, but I think it comes out like this. Wait a minute. You notice I'm just kind of crashing this stuff in here, or basically just setting it, intersecting it, rather than cutting it all in. That's totally fine. Mirror this instead. Unless you're doing really high precision stuff, oftentimes you don't really need to sew stuff in like that, and it's just going to bump up your triangle count unnecessarily. So anytime you can kind of crash stuff in and get away with it, go for it. And there's a couple of little details in here too. I'm really working hard to get through the modeling phase in this video. Got 7 minutes. Can I do it? I don't know. We'll see. Actually, it's a little skinny. I'm okay with this being a little chunky. And a lot of this stuff is going to be conceptually the same in Max, but obviously the tools will be slightly different, named different things. So hopefully you can find the equivalent tools in Max if you wanted to, adopt some of these really basic modeling practices. And then the same is going to be true for the UVs as well. There, save. And there's some details in the little front part. deleting the faces that I'm not going to need. Because one, you'll save triangle count if you have faces that aren't going to be drawn, and two, you also save texture space if you're not UVing and texturing a bunch of stuff that will never be drawn. This guy is here. And then I'll do one more. And this one has a top, so I couldn't just duplicate that other guy, unfortunately. If I was smart, I would have saved the undeleted edges, saved this guy before I deleted the edges and duped it so I wouldn't have to create a new one, but it only takes a couple seconds, so it's not that big of a deal. And because I can't help myself, I'm going to add just a little more detail in here. A couple of little glowy bits. Soften everything. Ooh, got something weird going on here. Adjusting the way that these edges are smoothing. Basically hardening them. I think Max handles this a little bit differently than Maya does, if I recall. You basically select faces and set them as smoothing groups. Is that how it is? Okay. Maya just grab the edges and adjust it. So it's a little more labor intensive in Max, I think, but it's important to get your smoothing groups set so that they, it shades the way you want it to.